Thank you. Right now we're going to interrupt you for a while because we're gonna give you a little talk, a mini conference. You're gonna meet. He's Mario Pasos Castaneira. He's an internationalist that now works in several governmental dependencies. He has 12 years of experience in working in international relations. He has worked in things such like the approval of protocols such as the Kyoto Protocol or treaties like the Commerce of Arms or the Conveys of Fundamental Conveys of the O8. As you know, the Security Council has a two-year non-permanent membership, and he helped Mexico to get into the 2009-2010 cycle.
Hello. I see you're just experiencing what's the model about. I know that right now you're making your statements. You're trying to see how it's going to be and what you're going to say and why are you Peru or why are you South Africa and what you're going to say about South Africa. I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult to really understand what's this about. So that's why I'm here to talk to you guys about how the UN works and what do they try to do in favor of the world. Okay? So first of all, this UN model is for you guys to be able to talk about different problems around the world. Maybe not all of you knew about the deforestation in the Amazon, or maybe you heard about it, but you don't know really the important numbers of how many acres are being deforested, or how many drives are there going on in Brazil to make it happen. Or you have no idea of pollution, or pollution because of cultural beliefs. It's something that maybe you never heard of. So it's important for you guys to acknowledge that these topics are something that's happening in the world. And you have to do something. Not right now, but maybe in 10, 20 years, you'll be able to do something. So if you know about these topics, further in your life, you're going to be able to confront them and find the solution. So that's why you're doing this. I know the first time is difficult, you don't like it very much. At the moment that you start debating, you're going to like it. You're going to see how it's important to think differently, because the first thing you have to know is you have to think like your country, like your delegation. You're Peru. You're not anyone else but Peru. So how does Peru feels about the Amazon? And what do they want to do with the Amazon? I think the Amazon has a little part of Peru. So Peru wants to fight for the Amazon. Okay? So that's why you have to be really, really, really into your part and be clear of what your delegation wants. Second, very, very important, mostly basic in this type of debates, allies. You have to make alliances, because that's how you get to the end. You can't make it on your own. Not even the US. Even though it's the US, they can't do it all by their own. So it's important for you guys to find the other delegations that have the same way of thinking as you guys. Maybe not in all of the topics or all of the issues, but they think the same way, so that's how you find your allies, and that's what's going to help you at the end of the day to find your resolution and to put your interests in the final document. For example, Mexico, it's called the friend of the world, because at the UN Mexico is friend of everyone. It doesn't matter if it's Russia or if it's Eritrea. Mexico is friends of everyone. Why? Because at the moment of the boats, Mexico is looking for someone that wants to be with them. So they have more boats, and if I'm Mexico and I want to be in favor of doing something for the Amazon, so I want this topic to become an issue at the General Assembly. So I'm looking for Trinidad and Tobago, I'm looking for Guatemala, Nicaragua, those countries that maybe no one cares, but they do care because they have a saying and they have a vote. So those little countries are going to help Mexico to take their topic, in this case, deforestation in the Amazon, to a resolution. So it's important for you guys to think about allies always. Maybe deforestation in the Amazon tells you nothing. Only that in the Amazon, they are ending with all trees. But that's not the only thing that's happening. You have to know why. Why? Because before 2012, Brazil had a very strict law in which if you cut a tree of the Amazon, you had to go through a rough process that could last months, and you had to reinsert another tree in another part of the Amazon. But right now, this law has changed. And you just have to go to a governmental area, ask for one of the signatures, you get it in 2 days, and you can end with those trees and no one cares. So it's important for you guys to know the history of this. This is not something that went on from yesterday to today. It's something that goes way back. So it's important to acknowledge why is this happening. Why is Brazil letting everyone finish their trees? Why is Brazil making infrastructure to connect the people from the cities to the Amazon, and they're taking tribes, fauna in the way? There are thousands and thousands of types of trees in the Amazon. Most of them are considered for medicinal purpose, and people don't know what they're taking off. So it's important for you guys to acknowledge that this is something that's going on right now. It's not just something that you're going to talk about and laugh with your friends. No, it's something that's happening. And right now, the Amazon produces 20% of the oxygen of the world. 20%. Imagine, what does this mean? That's why it's called the lung of the planet. Because 20% it's a lot. So imagine if we finish with the 20% for oxygen. What's going to happen with climate change? With the temperature in the world? So it's important for you guys to understand that this is happening right now. And the other topic, pollution. Okay, pollution, we think cars, industries, that's what generates pollution, right? Would you think that cultural beliefs has something to say in it? Well, it does. In China, every New Year, they crack thousands and thousands and thousands of fireworks. You have no idea the amount of fireworks that they're using in China. And this obviously becomes a pollution. It's noted that that's the day of the year that has more pollution in the whole China. The New Year in China, okay guys? So it's important for you to know that. And there's another place, the place that contributes the most to pollution, India. India has 3 different ways to contribute to pollution. The first one is with the people that dies. In India, they have the belief that they have to incinerate their bodies to take them to another level. The problem is, as you should know, India is a very poor place. So not everyone has the amount of money to be able to incinerate their beloveds. So they have to put the cord in the river, in the Ganges River, and then they send them into the river, and they fly to another sphere. I mean, that's what they say. So you can see at the Ganges River thousands, really thousands of corpses rounding all over the river. This is pollution. All the things that we have in our bodies pollute the water. In India, they have a big problem with water. They don't have it. And the little amount of water they have, they pollute it. The other one, there's a special ritual they call Holi, that everyone finds, well, they have this type of powder, colored powder, pink, yellow, green, blue, and everyone starts throwing powder at each other. So it's fun. Oh, it's, wow, we're throwing powder. Oh, you're blue, you're green, wow, we're having fun. Everyone has a blast. What's the problem? Years ago, this dust was made of flowers, so it was degradable. Right now, because of the costs and the time that it takes to make this powder, they buy it and it's a chemical powder. So all those chemicals are in fact pollution. But you will say, what does it matter if they are throwing the dust out themselves? How that pollutes? Okay, I'll tell you why. How? People in India don't have showers, so they have to shower in the river. So imagine a million of Indians filled with dust, colored dust, filled with chemicals, bathing in the river. Imagine the amount of water that you're polluting. So there are different types of pollution. And of course, industries, cars are the ones that contribute the most. But we have to acknowledge that there are cultural beliefs in several countries that contribute to this pollution. So it's important for you guys to really study these issues, to acknowledge that all the information you have is in the best interest of your delegation. Even though you think otherwise, you have to right now think like your delegation.